September 8th, 2000, Fenway Park. Yankee outfielder Ryan Thompson connects on a fastball and sends the ball rocketing straight back at pitcher Bryce Florie.
6 RBI. Oh my gosh.
The damage from the comebacker is significant. A fractured eye socket and a broken cheekbone. The question is, what's worse? Getting hit by a pitch or getting hit by a hit? To find out, we enlist a couple of machines, a pitching machine, and the most abused member of the sports science team, Crash. First up, we're going to test the power of a beanball to find out the force behind a batter's worst nightmare.
What we've done is we've simulated him in a batter's position. We're going to have the baseball come and strike him in the side of the head.
We've placed a tech scan sensor inside between skin of the dummy and the skull of the dummy, which is the metal part. And what's great about that is this force measurement will be able to let us tell whether we'd have a skull fracture or not.
As we simulate a batter being hit by a pitch, our scientists will be looking at what's called the head injury criteria, a predictor of injury based on the acceleration of the head. The pitching machine is cranked up to fire a fastball at 95 miles an hour.
Bring in the heat!
Oh, we got it.
Right here. Gee, you think you can tell where it hit? You can see the seams of the ball.
The 5-ounce ball smashes into the censored head with 2,400 pounds of force,
which equated to about a HIC value, or head injury criteria value, of 170. That's below the threshold where we would see any type of concussive event. So the helmet really is doing its job.
Now that our baseline has been set for a beanball, we turn our attention to a pitcher's biggest fear, the comebacker. So how much force was behind what happened to Bryce Florie on September 8th, 2000? To find out, we turn back to Crash and once again put him in harm's way. But standing in for a pitcher, Crash won't have the protection of a batting helmet. Now our scientists need to figure out how fast to crank up the pitching machine. To do this requires understanding the physics of a collision. Upon impact, a bat actually flexes and, like a slingshot, sends the ball back faster than it was thrown. Our scientists calculate that the line drive that struck Bryce Florie was traveling 120 miles an hour. That's 30% faster than the beanball. So will the comebacker generate 30% more force? As we replicate the precise conditions of Bryce Florie's accident, Crash will find out.
Fire in the hole!
So how much force did this hit generate? The beanball, traveling at 95 miles an hour, generated 2,400 pounds of force. But the comebacker, traveling 30% faster, at 120 miles an hour, slams into an unprotected head with an astonishing 5,500 pounds of force, over twice as much force generated by the beanball. This is enough force to stop a Mini Cooper moving at 10 miles an hour, dead in its tracks. So how quickly did Bryce have to react? Our motion tracking technology breaks down the scariest moment in baseball. Florie's follow-through leaves him only 55 feet from home plate. From the instant the ball is struck, leaving the bat at 120 miles an hour, Florie has only 312 milliseconds to react. As the image of the ball enters his eye, it's broken down into electrical impulses. The brain takes 110 milliseconds to decode this data, but as the ball travels the last 15 feet toward his head, the brain and the eyes cannot work together fast enough, and the ball is essentially invisible. And Bryce Florie's case, at the moment of bat-to-ball contact, his glove was waist-high and had to travel 26 vertical inches to impede the path of the ball. Even the slightest deflection could have saved his face, but he can't react in time. Bryce Florie recovered from his injuries, but his heart-stopping moment on the mound shows us why. If you had to choose between facing a fastballer on the mound or a screaming comebacker, you're safer in the batter's box.